Welcome back to the Stateless Standard, where we confront the quiet thieves that steal not just our wealth, but our very sense of self. Today, we turn our gaze to an economic sleight of hand so pervasive it's become invisible: inflation. Not the sanitized version peddled by pundits as an inevitable quirk of progress, but the deliberate debasement of money that corrodes the soul of society. In the next 10 minutes, we'll reclaim the word's true meaning, trace its moral rot from the printing press to the family hearth, and confront the cynicism that asks, why do we tolerate a system that punishes the prudent and rewards the spendthrift? This isn't abstract theory. It's the story of how our savings turn to dust and our virtues to vices. If you're weary of being gaslit by grocery receipts and government assurances, join me in this reckoning. Like if truth feels like rebellion, subscribe to Guard Against the Grind, and let's restore clarity to the chaos. Every great deception starts with a corrupted word, doesn't it? Inflation once meant what it still should: the artificial expansion of money and credit, a monetary fraud as old as fiat itself. But somewhere along the line, courtesy of clever economists and complicit politicians, it was redefined as merely a rise in prices, the symptom mistaken for the disease. This linguistic laundering serves a singular purpose: to absolve the culprits in Washington and their central bank enablers, shifting blame to the very consumers they impoverish. As if the market spontaneously conspires against your wallet, rather than a deliberate injection of printed paper, diluting your dollar's worth. We owe it to ourselves and to the Austrians who saw through the fog to call it what it is. Ludwig von Mises, that unflinching sentinel of economic truth, laid it bare in Economic Freedom and Interventionism. Inflation means increasing the quantity of money and banknotes in circulation. But people today use the term inflation to refer to the phenomenon that is an inevitable consequence of inflation, that is, the tendency of all prices and wage rates to rise. The result? A world where no one fights the cause because it's nameless, and we chase shadows, wage hikes, price controls, while the root festers unchecked. It's a semantic trap, sincere in its deception, that lets the Federal Reserve play the hero while playing the thief. Murray Rothbard, ever the razor to the regime's veil, exposed the farce in the case against the Fed. The central bank is continually engaged in raising a hue and cry about inflation, for which virtually everyone else in society seems to be responsible. It's the classic robber's ploy: shout "stop thief" while picking pockets. The Fed cloaks itself in mystery, an inscrutable oracle dispensing stability, when in truth it's the engine of erosion. Every expansion is legalized counterfeiting, flooding the system with fresh dollars that first enrich the insiders, banks, borrowers, government contractors, before trickling to you and me as higher prices. This is the Cantillon effect. Wealth doesn't evaporate evenly. It redistributes upward, from the last to receive the new money, savers, wage earners, to the first, the connected elite. Cynical? Absolutely. But sincere in its observation. Inflation isn't random, it's rigged. At its core, inflation isn't just numbers on a screen. It's a violation of trust, a falsification of the very language of exchange. As Jörg Guido Hülsmann articulates so piercingly in The Ethics of Money Production, it springs from a violation of the fundamental rules of society, turning honest trade into systemic deceit. When money's value is manipulated, prices cease to signal truth. They become weapons of confusion. Entrepreneurs, those vital coordinators of human endeavor, grope in the dark. Is demand real or inflated illusion? Investments misfire, resources mangle, booms burst into busts, and the moral rot spreads like ink in water. Inflation tempts people to lie about their products, Hülsmann warns, breeding the habit of routine lies that cancer through the economy. Why understate costs when the dollar's debasement covers your tracks? Why honor contracts when tomorrow's money buys less than today's? This isn't hyperbole, it's the lived erosion of character. Societies built on sound money reward foresight and thrift, saving for a rainy day, investing in the future. But flood the system with fiat, and time preferences invert. Why save when it shrinks? Why plan when speculation pays? We become a nation of gamblers, chasing short-term highs over long-term horizons. The prudent saver watches their nest egg wither, while the leveraged speculator rides the wave until it crashes, leaving wreckage for the rest. It's a moral inversion, sincere in its cruelty. Virtue punished, vice subsidized. Nowhere is this felt more acutely than in the quiet theaters of daily life, where inflation's harm whispers rather than roars. Consider the family hearth. That weekly dinner out, once a simple joy, now a luxury rationed by rising tabs. The young couple saving for a home finds the down payment receding like a mirage, each year's wage bump devoured by the CPI's cunning climb. The retiree, dutifully socking her golden years, awakens to a pension that buys half the groceries it once did. These aren't statistics, they're stories of deferred dreams, of quiet resentments building like pressure in a fault line. Inflation's tax is the most regressive of all, invisible, unavoidable, hitting hardest those without hedges like stocks or real estate. It severs the sacred link between labor and livelihood. You toil harder, yet command less. Effort, once ennobled, feels futile. Prudence, once prized, feels foolish. Over generations, this breeds a cultural shift: materialism over meaning, dependency over dignity. As Hülsmann observes, it constantly reduces the purchasing power of money, birthing despair and the eradication of moral and social standards. Towering debts, government-fueled, chain us to financial servitude, weakening self-reliance across the board. The debt-ridden soul, ever turning outward for aid, trades independence for submissiveness, soberness for wishful thinking. We become a society adrift, materialistic and myopic, where personal happiness yields to the grind for more, always more, yet never enough. And yet in this cynicism, there's a sincere call to arms. Inflation endures not by economic inevitability, but by political will and our weary acquiescence. The remedy isn't arcane, it's elemental: sound money. Restore a currency immune to the printer's whim, gold, silver, or any honest medium that can't be conjured from thin air. Reconnect effort to reward, savings to security, prices to truth. Sound money isn't nostalgia, it's the bedrock of civilization, where long-term vision trumps short-term schemes, and virtue finds its just return. Without it, we court barbarism, societies unmoored, morals unhinged. With it, we reclaim the future from the fiscal fops who squander it. That's our earnest excavation of inflation's moral shadow on the stateless standard. A system that lies about its money, lies about everything else. Your worth, your work, your world. If this stirs a sincere resolve to demand better, comment below. What's one step towards sound money you'd champion today? Like, if you're done with the debasement, subscribe for more unflinching audits of the economic empire, and share this with a friend still blaming the baker for the Fed's feast. Truth isn't polite, it's preservative. Until next we weigh the worth of our wealth, hold fast to what's real. Fade to unyielding gold.